thinks they're the center of the universe? That's arrogance for you. Arrogance, simply put, is an inflated sense of self-importance, superiority, and entitlement. It's an attitude that says, "I'm better than you, and I know it." Arrogant individuals often believe they're superior to others, whether based on their intelligence, accomplishments, or social status. They may frequently interrupt or talk over others, dismiss differing opinions or perspectives, and exhibit a lack of empathy. They often have a hard time admitting they're wrong, even when faced with clear evidence. Essentially, they are not the best company to keep around. But what does this mean for relationships and interactions? Well, arrogance can create a significant barrier to effective communication and mutual respect. It can make it challenging to establish and maintain healthy, balanced relationships, whether personal or professional. Imagine trying to have a meaningful conversation with someone who constantly belittles your ideas or dismisses your experiences. It's frustrating, isn't it? That's the kind of strain arrogance can put on interactions. Moreover, arrogance can create a toxic environment that breeds resentment and conflict. When one person consistently dominates conversations, disregards others' feelings, and asserts their superiority, it can lead to feelings of resentment, tension, and hostility. Arrogance can also hinder personal growth and development. When someone is so convinced of their own infallibility, they're unlikely to seek or accept feedback, learn from their mistakes, or consider other perspectives. This can limit their ability to grow, change, and improve. And let's not forget the impact on the arrogant individuals themselves. Their arrogance can isolate them, damage their relationships, and ultimately leave them feeling lonely and misunderstood. So it's clear that arrogance can be a real relationship killer. But let's not despair, there are ways to handle this. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let's dive into some strategies for dealing with arrogance. Arrogance can be a tough nut to crack, but the first step in dealing with it is to stay calm and composed. It's easy to let our emotions get the better of us when we're faced with arrogance, but remember, reacting impulsively often only fuels the fire. So take a deep breath, keep your cool, and remember that their arrogance says more about them than it does about you. Next, it's crucial to set boundaries. Arrogance often hinges on power dynamics, so it's essential to communicate your expectations clearly and respectfully. This means stating what you will and won't tolerate, and sticking to it. It's not about being confrontational, but about asserting your right to be treated with respect. Empathy can also be a powerful tool in dealing with arrogance. Try to understand what might be driving their behavior. Are they feeling insecure? Are they trying to assert control? Keep in mind though, empathy doesn't mean enabling. You can understand why they're acting the way they are without condoning or reinforcing their behavior. Maintaining confidence is another key strategy. It's not about matching their arrogance with your own, but about asserting yourself confidently and assertively. You have value and worth, and you don't need to be belittled or overshadowed by anyone's arrogance. Focusing on the facts can also help keep interactions with arrogant individuals grounded. It's easy to get drawn into emotional arguments or power struggles, but sticking to the facts can help steer the conversation back to a more rational and productive place. Of course, not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes the best way to deal with arrogance is to disengage and walk away. There's no shame in choosing your battles wisely. If an interaction is going nowhere or is causing undue stress, it's perfectly okay to step back and let it go. Finally, don't forget to seek support. Dealing with arrogance can be taxing, and it's important to have a support network you can turn to. Reach out to friends, family, or colleagues for perspective, advice, or just a sympathetic ear. Remember, you're not alone in this. Remember, it's about maintaining your composure, setting your boundaries, and not letting their arrogance get the best of you. Arrogance can be a challenging trait to navigate, but with these strategies in your toolkit, you'll be well equipped to handle it with grace and confidence. Sometimes, dealing with arrogance requires a little finesse. Let's explore some tricks that can help. Firstly, humor can be a powerful tool. It can diffuse tension and lighten the mood. But remember, it's essential to use humor wisely. Your goal isn't to belittle or ridicule the person, but to shift the energy of the conversation. A well-placed joke or a light-hearted comment can go a long way. Next, consider appealing to their ego. Arrogant individuals often have a high regard for themselves, so framing your requests or feedback in a way that complements their abilities or knowledge can be effective. For example, you might say, "Given your expertise in this area, I would love to get your thoughts on." This approach can soften their defensive stance, making them more receptive to what you have to say. Another trick is to redirect the conversation. If you find the person's arrogance is triggered by certain topics, steer clear of them. Instead, guide the conversation towards more constructive themes or areas where they might feel less compelled to assert their superiority. Finally, don't underestimate the power of praise and recognition. People with arrogant tendencies often crave acknowledgement. By recognizing their strengths or accomplishments, you can build rapport and potentially diffuse hostility. However, it's crucial to be genuine with your praise. False flattery can backfire, leading to more conflict. Remember, the goal isn't to change the arrogant person or to diminish them. It's about managing the interaction in a way that maintains respect, promotes understanding, and reduces conflict. These tricks aren't about manipulation, they're about effective communication. It's also important to note that these tricks aren't foolproof. Every person is different, and what works for one might not work for another. It's about trying different approaches and finding what works best in each situation. With these tricks up your sleeve, you'll be better equipped to handle any arrogance that comes your way. Now let's take these strategies and tricks and see how they work in real-life situations. Imagine you're at a work meeting and one of your colleagues, John, consistently dominates the conversation, belittles others' ideas, and refuses to consider alternative perspectives. This is a classic display of arrogance. But instead of getting angry or defensive, you decide to stay calm and composed. You take a deep breath, assert yourself confidently, and say, "John, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I think it's important that everyone gets a chance to contribute." Here, you've set boundaries and maintained your confidence. Now, let's say you're at a family gathering and your cousin Sarah is boasting about her latest achievements, disregarding anyone else's accomplishments. Instead of feeling overshadowed or annoyed, you decide to offer genuine praise and recognition, saying, "Sarah, that's really impressive. Congrats on your achievements." Then you steer the conversation towards a more inclusive topic, perhaps asking everyone about their recent successes or challenges. In this scenario, you've used redirection and praise to manage Sarah's arrogance. Let's consider another situation. Suppose you're dealing with a friend, Mike, who always seems to know better and dismisses your opinions. Instead of arguing, you focus on the facts and say, "Mike, I respect your views, but research suggests that." By doing this, you've avoided an emotional argument and stuck to the facts. And finally, picture this. You're in a team project with a classmate, Lisa, who acts superior and refuses to collaborate. Instead of getting frustrated, you empathize with her, but don't enable her behavior. You say, "Lisa, I understand that you have a lot of experience in this area, but we all need to work together to make this project a success." Here, you've empathized with Lisa, but also asserted the importance of teamwork. These examples show that while it's not always easy, it's definitely possible to effectively handle arrogance. Remember, the key is to stay calm, set boundaries, maintain confidence, and use the right strategies and tricks. So don't let arrogance get you down. Stand tall and handle it with grace and assertiveness. Dealing with arrogance can be tough, but with the right approach, it's manageable. Let's recap the key takeaways from this discussion. Staying calm and composed is crucial, especially when faced with arrogance. It allows you to think clearly and react appropriately. Setting boundaries is equally important. By doing so, you convey respect for yourself and your space. Further, maintaining confidence is essential. Remember, it's not about being confrontational, but about asserting yourself. Empathy, too, plays a significant role. It helps us understand the reasons behind a person's arrogance without condoning their behavior. And let's not forget humor, a powerful tool to diffuse tension, and the art of redirecting conversations, which can help keep interactions constructive. Finally, remember to pick your battles wisely, and don't hesitate to seek support when needed. Remember, you have the power to handle any arrogant individual that comes your way. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more advice on navigating challenging interpersonal situations.